And then there were 6. We'll tell you which local teams are moving on to state championship games, including 2 local squads playing at home right here in Northeast Florida.
It's been nearly 2 decades since the Yellow Jackets won a state championship, but tonight they are hoping to punch their ticket to tally to try and do it again. But another local team has waited even longer.
The last time the Bradford Tornadoes won the state championship was way back in 1966. Can they remain undefeated and punch their title ticket next week in Tallahassee? That's right now on the Friday Night Blitz.
This is Action Sports Jack's Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
Would Christmas come early for the Yellow Jackets of St. Augustine? Win, and you play for a state title on Thursday. Remember, last year none of our Florida teams were able to win a state championship. We want to bring some hardware. That trophy right over there in the end, we want to bring it back to Northeast Florida. But first, you got to win tonight to make it there. We're going to go straight across the board, and let's start at Calvin Ridley's alma mater. That is Monarch in Coconut Creek hosting Mandarin. Mustangs down 7 early. Tremel Jones finds Ethan Sherman, and Mandarin is on the board. Great back and forth game. Monarch goes ahead 21-16 in the third, but Tiant Leich answers. Mandarin out front. They would stay there. Deshard Westcott insurance score. Remember how I said it was back and forth? Well, Mandarin scored the final 35, and they run away with it. 51-21 is the actual updated score. Mandarin gets the win. The top seed in 4M, Miami Columbus, they won 27-7 to make the championship game against Mandarin. Down in 2M, the Bolles Bulldogs unfortunately come up short on the road at Miami Norland, 28-7 the final score as Bolles season comes to a close. How about 1M, Trinity Christian taking on Clearwater Central Catholic. This game scoreless late in the first quarter till Jake Jones changes that. 82-yard punt return for number 1, and the Conquerors are on the board. Then, we've seen Colin Hurley use his arm a lot in his Trinity tenure. How about the legs? 34-yard touchdown run here for the LSU commit. This turns into a shootout, but it's the Marauders topping the Conquerors. 39-32 the final. Trinity is out in the semis. We move to the suburban classes. 3S, St. Augustine home one more time against Fort Myers Dunbar. In the first quarter, Lachlan Hewlett looking. He'll find Miles Simmons across the middle, spin move, and that's ruled a touchdown as he falls into the end zone. St. Augustine strikes first, 7-0. Same score now in the second. Jackets trying to make it a 2-possession game. Devontae Lyons, he'll break the plane for 6 and in for the touchdown. How about some second half highlights? Here's Lachlan Hewlett going deep to Carl Jenkins Jr., and he takes it down the sideline long. Touchdown for number 2 as he gets in. And let's cap it off with one more for Devontae Lyons. What a season. What a postseason for number 6. We saw the final a second ago. Let's see it again as the St. Augustine Yellow Jackets get the win. There it is, 35-14. Here's Olivia Tasley with a victorious head coach.
Olivia Tasley here, and it feels like deja vu. Coach Brian Braddock, another week, another win, the biggest one this season so far. Tell me about what you're feeling right now.
I'm just grateful, so happy for our kids and our community and our fans, our school community. Personally, I'm just grateful for another week with them. We're going to get to maximize the time we spend together as a football team, so that's really special, and I'm just grateful that we get to experience this.
Not only did you punch your ticket to another state championship, but you stayed perfect this season. How hard is it to do that right here in the state of Florida?
It's been really challenging. You know, we played some great teams in the regular season, and then the last 3 weeks, every game's been a real tight game at halftime. And our kids have just found a way to kind of impose their will in the second half each week. And it speaks to the depth of our team, the depth of character and grit. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to keep winning. And we're proud to be 13-0, and now the goal is 14-0.
Coach, congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Coach Brian Braddock, I'm Olivia Tasley. Guys, let's go back to you.
Thank you, Liv. In the final four, the final, it'll be the team from right down the road in Daytona. Mainland advances over Ocala Vanguard. How about in Stark? Bradford hosting Pensacola Catholic. And that team runs a ton of Wildcat with this guy, Nigel Nelson. Punches it in. It was 14-0 at halftime. Bradford never gives up 14 points, but they did in this one. We go to the fourth quarter, 14-7 till Bradford scores. That one on 4th and 3 with 90 seconds to go. We go to overtime. Pensacola Catholic, after missing a potential game-winning field goal to end regulation, there's Nigel Nelson, puts him in front. So Bradford's turn. Backup QB Jeremiah McKenzie comes in, scores. Now what do? Well, Jamie Rogers says, we're going for 2. We're going for the win. And it's Dejon Shanks powering his way in. Bradford wins it. They're headed to the state title game. Here's Jason Hamby and Stark.
Here with head coach Jamie Rogers. Head coach, an unbelievable win. Talk to me about the decision to go for 2, put the game on the line there in overtime.
Well, actually, I'd made the decision to kick it and play one more series, but Chasen Clark, Torn Brazil, Trente Jenkins, Dejon, Khalil, they all said, Coach, let's go for it right here. Let's go for the win. That was all I needed. I told them all I needed was their guts, and that's when we called it.
Talk to me about the resiliency of this team. You're down all game. You tie it with 1 minute to go. You commit 4 fumbles, and you win the game in the end.
Was it only 4? It seemed like about 10. I knew when we were at halftime, I talked to them. We were in the weight room and in the locker room. I told them we played about as bad a half as we played this year. I knew if we could come out and clean it up, I knew if we played a clean half, we were going to hold them to close to 0 in the second half, and we should have. I mean, we did. Overtime, they scored in overtime, so we held them to 0 in the second half, and I really thought we'd win the game if we held them to nothing.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Go Tornadoes.
All right, that's all from Bradford. I'll send it back to you, Stuart. Action Sports Jacks. I'm Jason Hamby.
All right, thank you, Jason. What a scene. Now it's time for revenge. Cocoa wins big in the other semi. The Tornadoes can avenge last year's playoff loss. Here is the state championship series for our 3 local teams in Florida still alive. St. Augustine will play Mainland. That is on Thursday, the 7th. Then on Friday, 2 games, Mandarin versus Miami Columbus, Bradford versus Cocoa. All of that taking place at Bragg Memorial Stadium on the campus of Florida A&M. As for Georgia, state championships will be played inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That was fun to say. For the first time in 5 years, they're up in Atlanta inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Easy to say the 3rd time. Camden County 1 win away from making yet another trip to Atlanta. Got to get past Walton first. Wildcats would find themselves down 21-0 at the half. Locker room speech must have inspired Jamarlee Riddle, because the pitch play to number 2, and there he goes, takes it the distance. But Riddle was not done there. You get a touchdown on offense. Walton's QB had 42 touchdowns and 1 INT coming into the game. Well, that's another INT. Riddle cuts in front, headed the other way. The comeback, however, comes no closer than 21-17. Walton takes it 41-25.